Hi, Chef John here, and today what I'm going to teach you how to do is a smoked habanero cranberry sauce. This cranberry sauce is not only great for turkey and Thanksgiving, but I've also tried it on pork, and let me tell you, it is delicious on pork. First thing you want to do is grab your oranges. Make sure you wash them and pat them dry with a towel. You're going to microplane your oranges. You want to microplane both oranges. So now that you have your orange zest in there, what you want to do is add your sugar directly in there. Add half a stick of cinnamon. You are going to grab your oranges, cut them in half because we are going to use all that juice that's in there. Squeeze this orange. So now what we're going to do is chop the pepper. We're going to grab our habanero, we're going to slice it. I actually like taking the seeds off, and I'll kind of roll it out like this and take those seeds off. If you leave the seeds on there, it's going to be extremely spicy. And what you want to do, being very careful, slice it in little strips. Give them a little spin now and chop them up. I like to really chop them very fine, so I'll give them another go here in a second. Another thing about your pepper, make sure when you chop it up, before adding it to your ingredients or your list of ingredients for your recipe, taste your pepper just a little bit to see where the spice is at. This is going to allow you to control that spice depending on how much you want to add in there and how spicy it is. And that is spicy. So the next step here is smoking your cranberries. I know a lot of you guys at home might not have a smoker, so if you have a grill or even a side burner in your backyard, this is a quick technique on doing a quick smoke without even having to soak your wood chips. In here I do have some apple wood chips, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab this pan with cranberries, and this is actually going to go on top of that box. Then what I'm going to do is flip this little sides up and make a few holes along the side and the lip of this pan. This is going to allow that smoke to penetrate through this pan and give your cranberries a quick 5-minute smoke, probably a little bit longer. Once you got the holes going, what you want to do is make sure this pan goes on top of the other pan where the wood chips are in. You're going to grab this cover or this lid and make sure you go in there and wrap both lids tightly around this makeshift smoke box. Now if you have a smoker, just set up your smoker at about 250 degrees and smoke your cranberries in your smoker for maybe about 5 minutes. That's all it's going to take. And the reason I am using frozen cranberries is it allows to penetrate the cranberries a lot faster and more intense smoke flavor you're going to get out of these than fresh. I've tried both fresh and frozen, and it works so much better with the frozen cranberries. So once you have these covered, both lips here, you're going to grab your pan. So you're going to grab them and you're going to throw them directly. You can use a grill, or if you have a side burner works very well too. And turn it on. And all you're going to wait for, I'm actually going to turn it down to a medium heat. You're going to wait for a smoke, a very high smoke. And once you have this really high smoke, what you want to do is turn off the heat. Keep it covered for another 5 minutes. If you want it smokier, you can go 10, but it depends on how smoky you want it. I like a subtle smoke, so 5 minutes works perfectly. This technique also works very well. An example is a dessert. I've done smoked Nutella. So I grab the Nutella, drop it in there just like the cranberries, cover it up, let it smoke for about 5 minutes, mix that Nutella with a little bit of heavy whipping cream or even milk or what have you, and then make a sauce out of it and pour it on top of your ice cream. Tastes really delicious with grilled cherries. Really good stuff. Another thing that you can do this technique with is maybe a really thick piece of meat. You can drop it in there, give it a quick maybe 5-minute smoke, and finish it off on the grill with a little bit of oil and maybe your favorite rub. So once it's smoking heavily, you want to turn it off and leave it just like so for about 5 minutes. This is going to penetrate some smoke into your cranberries, and your cranberries are smoked. So next tip for your cranberry sauce is grab your smoked cranberries, drop them directly into your orange juice, sugar, and cinnamon stick. I'm going to put this over the burner over high heat. And we're gonna wait for a boil, and we're gonna wait for these cranberries to basically break down. And I'm gonna grab a spoon. You can use a potato masher if you want, smash them up a little bit. Add a little salt at the end with your habanero. Your habanero, make sure you add it to taste. If you add all of it at one time, you're gonna overpower it with too much spice. You wanna make sure you find balance. So now for your cranberry sauce, what you want to do is once it comes to a boil, turn it down to low. If you keep it on too high and you turn your back, it's going to completely burn on the bottom. It does have sugar, and sugar burns really quick and fast. So you want to make sure you turn it down. Maybe it's going to take another 5 or 10 minutes or so until the cranberries start breaking apart. Then I'm going to go ahead and use a spoon, mash them up, add your salt, and add your habanero to it. Now our cranberry sauce, what we're going to do is we're going to mash this up here nicely. And if you notice that it's really thick, it really depends on how you want to serve this. If you want it thick, that's perfect right there. If you want it to be a little bit more watery, you can always add a little water. Now at this point, we're going to add a little bit of salt for flavor. We're going to mix these nicely here. Now our cranberry sauce is actually ready to go here. We're going to taste it, see where the flavor's at. After we add our habanero. So we're going to grab our habanero, and again, this stuff is pretty spicy. Don't try to add too much and be a cowboy here. So if you notice here, it's a little thick right now. It's a little too thick for my liking, so I'm just going to add just a little bit of water in there just to thin it out, just a little bit. Make sure your water's hot. That's actually the texture, but I like it, just like that. Nice thick texture. And again, if you want to make it thinner, it's completely up to you on how thick you make this sauce. The reason I'm doing it this way here is you want a contrast in colors and you want height in your dish. Makes it look really nice. If you were doing a bigger platter, I would just definitely put a big amount of mashed yams on the bottom, put your turkey on top, and put the cranberry sauce on top. This way your turkey on top gets some love with the cranberry sauce, and you have all these different flavors combining. You have salty, you have a little spicy, you have some smokiness in there as well. So there's a lot of different flavors and actually textures in this dish. And there you have it, guys. This is going to be your mashed yams with bacon and cilantro, roasted garlic. We have our brine turkey breast and our smoked habanero cranberry sauce. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.